Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody? Welcome to another episode of Roll Around, Find Out. Today we're gonna do a little exploring into the wonderful, wide world that is artificial intelligence. I think it has really revolutionized the RPG space, and if you are apprehensive to do it, I think you are totally missing out. If anything, it is such a great resource to start something you're interested in, a topic on, starting a town, building encounters, magic weapons. Literally every aspect of tabletop gaming, AI has just been, or has the power to help game masters out. And so I've used it for personal things I'm doing. My kids and I are running a Zelda-themed story, and it helped me draft. I've got it around here somewhere. Like 50-page, maybe not quite that many, maybe 30-page, basically full campaign for Legend of Zelda. I said I want my players to be explore Hyrule during the time of Breath of the Wild, where Link is exploring and going around and getting all the divine beasts. But there's a special quest that Zelda needs help with, which is to find the Triforce, which is, as far as I remember, not mentioned in Breath of the Wild. And they use that to help strengthen Zelda's powers, as hers are weakening and Ganon's about to take over. And so they've got a story where they travel all around Hyrule, and it's kind of railroady, which I'm okay with. My kids are currently 6 and 9, and so I think a little bit of railroading is okay. They're still learning how to play an RPG. Like my son, who's 9, he got yelled at by... I forget his name. We made up a name for him, but in Breath of the Wild, there's this guy who sells masks, and he's kind of scary. And I think we ended up calling him Scary Steve or something. So my son said, "Oh, I'm gonna jump over the counter," and then Scary Steve yelled at him. Well, my son took it personal, like he was yelling at him, not his character. So that's neither here nor there, but. It's got encounters built in for every area they go to. It built dungeons for me. I said, basically, oh, you know what? I got it right here. 34 pages, and looking through it, it has encounters for every place it goes. Hyrule Castle. It's got encounters for Zora's Domain. They travel all over. And one thing that I can't say I'm proud of it because I didn't come up with it, but I watched a really good video on YouTube for new to me YouTuber who, of course, I can't remember. Let's see if I can pull it up here. I mentioned it in another podcast, but it was Zelda Travel RPG by Dungeon Masterpiece, and it's titled Overland Travel is Boring. Breath of the Wild has the answer. And that inspired me to print out a map, and luckily enough at my work I have the resources to laminate it and make it real nice. And then I used Chat GPT, or AI, to build me a D100 list of encounters, and I just said, make me a list of encounters that my players could run into anywhere in the world of Breath of the Wild. And so I'll read some of these here. Just randomly picked 38. The players discover a hidden chest buried beneath a pile of leaves or rubble. Okay, nothing fancy, but you know it's there. 51. The players encounter a mysterious statue that grants them a temporary blessing or a cryptic clue to their next destination. Right? This one's specific to Breath of the Wild. A cunning Gerudo thief challenges the players to a game of wits, promising valuable rewards if they can outsmart her. Okay? It knows what Zelda is. It knows what Breath of the Wild is. Another one specific to Zelda. A group of Hylian knights patrolling the area ask the players to assist them in repelling monsters. There's another one with the Great Fairy. And so again, it's a D100 list. And, you know, if I used AI for nothing else, a D100 list for travel, overworld travel, is just immensely helpful and immensely immersive. Such a great tool. So maybe I'll have to do a whole nother topic on AI and how it has GM tools, but I'm going to start recording here in a little bit. I want to try out using ChatGPT as my dungeon master. And so I'm about to set up my laptop here. And I've already put in a basic prompt. I don't even have a character built because I don't want to spend a ton of time if this just completely backfires. But I want to use ChatGPT as my dungeon master and just explore and see how well this works. So let me set up my recording here. And I want to just record my screen. You don't need to see my face, though someday maybe I'll get the confidence to do that. Okay, confirming what to share. Just my screen, share. And hide. All right. So I'll either figure out a way to post this so it's a video podcast on Spotify, or I'll link to maybe like a separate way you can check out just the video, or I'll have somehow this doubled up. We'll see how this all plays out. Okay, now you don't need to see the video. I'll read what I have, but it might be more engaging, might be more worth your while to see just how amazing this is and how quick this all works. But here we go. I went to ChatGPT using version 3.5. I said, "Can you be the dungeon master for me and answer my player questions?" "Of course, I'd be happy to be your dungeon master and help you with your player questions. Please describe the scenario or setting you have in mind and let me know how I can assist you and your players on your adventure." Okay, that came back in less than a second. And just amazing that it's at least giving me a false sense that, oh yeah, it knows exactly what it's doing. So then I replied with, "Don't tell me anything about it, but create me a fantasy world filled with towns, people, landmarks, dungeons, and interesting geopolitics." So then what did it do? Well, it immediately started telling me everything about the world. But it does say, "Certainly, here's a brief overview of a fantasy world for your tabletop role-playing adventure." So, the world name is Eldoria. The geopolitics is Eldoria is a vast and diverse world divided into several distinct regions, each with its own unique politics, cultures, and landscapes. The 5 major regions of Eldoria are: 1. The Kingdom of, and I've not read this before, so not only is my English just terrible. I can just barely function and read as a human being anyways. But with these made up fictional words, best of luck. Also, my dog is chewing on her bone over there, and you'll just have to deal with it. So, the Kingdom of Avaloria, a prosperous and powerful monarchy ruled by King Cedric, known for its lush forests, grand castles, and advanced arcane universities. Avaloria maintains a fragile alliance with neighboring realms, but is constantly threatened by ancient eldritch forces in the nearby Enchanted Wilds. Okay? Number 2, the Dwarven Kingdoms of Stonehelm. A network of underground cities and fortresses nestled within towering mountain ranges. The dwarves are skilled craftsmen and warriors, fiercely guarding their territory against goblins, trolls, and other subterranean threats. So far, nothing in here is earth-shattering, but, if you're just looking to create a fantasy world, it's there. Here we have the Elven Dominion of Sylvanar, a majestic forest realm where the elves live in harmony with nature, led by the wise high elf Queen Elowyn. Sylvanar is a land of treetop cities, magical groves, and enchanting creatures. They fiercely protect their borders against those who would harm their sacred forests. 2 more. The nomadic tribes of the Sand Shroud Desert. A vast desert where nomadic tribes roam, guided by their ancient traditions and mystic leaders. These tribes are known for their knowledge of desert survival and the secrets hidden beneath the scorching sands. Number 5. The free city-states of Skysteed. A collection of independent city-states floating among the clouds on massive sky islands. Skysteed? We're going to say Skysteed. Skysteed is a hub of commerce, airship technology, and adventure. Each city-state has its own distinct culture and political alignment. So there we go. The first 4, about as basic, generic fantasy as possible. And then all of a sudden, we've got people living in the clouds with airship technology. So, again, I prompted, create me a fantasy world, and it sure did. It then gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towns and landmarks, 1, 2, 3, 4 dungeons. The last thing it says here is, now that you have this world as a backdrop, feel free to create your characters and embark on your epic adventure in Eldoria. If you have any specific questions or need more details about a particular aspect of the world, just let me know. So I say, tell me what town I start in. ChatGPT says, certainly, your adventure begins in the bustling town of Harbor's Landing. Harbor's Landing is a coastal town located in the kingdom of Avaloria. It's a lively port town known for its active trade, busy harbors, and diverse population. The town is situated on the shores of the Azure Bay, which stretches out to meet the vast Sea of Serenity. Key features of Harbor's Landing include the Fisherman's Wharf, the Captain's Tavern, the Azure Mages Guild, and the Harbor Master's Tower. Also says the Whispers. It's weird this one's not bolded, but the previous ones were. Then it says, as your adventure begins in Harbor's Landing, you'll find yourself surrounded by opportunities for quests, mysteries, and connections to the wider world of Eldoria. Where will your journey lead you from here? So I say, I'd like to go to the Captain's Tavern and talk with some of the locals about the ins and outs of Harbor's Landing. That's me as my player. So, already just great content to get a story running. I've mentioned I'm interested in solo RPGing, and just my brief stints at it was The Wretched, which is a journaling RPG, and then Note Quest, which was fun when I did it. However, upon reflection, not saying I won't go back to it, because just if you listen to it, I had 2 or 3 characters die, I think 2, in the first dungeon that I made, and I feel like I need to get some sort of redemption for those characters. But at the end of the day, I felt like I didn't have a lot of choice. It was very, very procedural, and you know, not binary, because I definitely had more choices, but I walked away from it saying like, or feeling like I didn't really feel like my character had a ton of choice in what I was doing. And that's just an initial impression that could certainly change. But here with ChatGPT, I mean, come on, right off the bat, it says, what would you like to do? Where do you want to explore? I get to choose where I get to go to, and we're off and running. So I'm going to kind of sort of just, we're going to use like the Knave system, the Knave setup. I'm just picking a random page in my notebook here. I don't really like the one I've got, but I'm going to roll with it. So I'm going to just say, just to get this running, my character name is, you know what? I could use ChatGPT for it, but how much more do I have? All right, I'm just going to Google, give me a random male adventurer's name. Okay, I'll be just a human. I'll be boring. This is just a proof of concept here, really. I don't really think I'm going to be playing this for years and years and years. All right, these are all too fancy for what I care for. Let's go with, all right, Hackett. Hackett. And then Hackett Kyler. That's my name. And for profession, let's say I'm a lowly rat catcher. And I carry with me, let's say, a whistle, a club, a trap, rope. I'm good at sneaking. I'm bad at dealing with people because I'm awkward and I usually smell. All right. Hackett Kyler. There we go. Here's my character. Okay, so I said that I'd like to go to the Captain's Tavern and talk with some of the locals about the ins and outs of Harbor's Landing. Okay? And I am, as amateur as it gets to being a GM, DM. So major purpose of me recording these and exploring role-playing games is to get better at it. And just reading this, I don't want to give so much description I end up sounding like Matt Mercer. But, if I can provide more details, more adjectives to make my world seem more lively or more lived in, great. And just reading this, I am much more basic in my descriptions, and so I'm learning. So it says, you make your way through the lively streets of Harbor's Landing, passing by market stalls selling fresh fish, exotic spices, and colorful fabrics. The smell of salt water and the sound of seagulls fill the air as you approach the captain's tavern. As you enter the tavern, the warm, inviting atmosphere immediately envelops you. The wooden beams of the ceiling are adorned with nautical decor, and the room is abuzz with the chatter of patrons. You spot a mix of sailors, merchants, and adventurers, all enjoying hearty meals and drinks. Beyond the bar stands a burly, bearded man with a friendly grin. He's polishing a glass and looks up as you approach. Bartender says, "Welcome, traveler. What can I get for you today?" You also notice a few groups of locals huddled together at different tables. They seem to be engrossed in conversation. What would you like to do next? Okay. I order a drink. Okay. So everything I had read before was just a brief thing I poked around with ChatGPT earlier today, and I said, "Oh, you know what? This is actually like working." And so let's see where we go from here. So this is all brand new. This is new to me, first time. So I say, I order a drink. You order a drink from the friendly bartender who... Oh my jeez, it's so fast. Who promptly pours you a mug of frothy ale. The drink is cool and refreshing, a welcome respite from your journey. As you sip your ale, you can't help but overhear snippets of conversation from the locals gathered around. They are discussing various aspects of Harbor's Landing, and you catch some interesting tidbits. Local 1 says, "Aye, the fisherman's wharf is as lively as ever. Prices for fresh fish have been good this season." Not doing voices for all of them. Local number 2, "Did you hear about the recent shipwreck off the coast? Some say it was a cursed voyage. Others think it's just bad luck." Local 3, "The Azure Mages Guild is hosting a magical exhibition next week. They're always up to something mysterious over there." In Local 4, "If you're looking for work, the harbor master's been hiring for a crew to explore a sunken shipwreck. Might be some valuable treasures down there." Last prompt, "It seems there are a variety of topics and potential leads you can pursue. What would you like to do or inquire next in the captain's tavern?" Okay. I ask, what is the bartender's name? You turn to the bartender and inquire about his name. Bartender, "Aye, the name's Garrick, friend. Garrick Stoutbeard at your service. What brings you to Harbor's Landing?" Garrick continues to clean a glass as he speaks. His friendly demeanor invites further conversation. Is there anything specific you'd like to ask him or discuss with Garrick? Say, "I'm a rat catcher. I'm pretty good at it, but I wouldn't mind a side gig to help make ends meet. I really wouldn't mind earning a quick score to then take a few months off. Any ideas on how I can do that?" Garrick raises an eyebrow, intrigued by your background as a rat catcher. Garrick says, "A rat catcher, eh? Well, you're in luck. Harbor's Landing..." This is just so amazing. Sorry. Just instantly produces this out. It's just wild. All right, Garrick, "A rat catcher, eh? Well, you're in luck. Harbor's Landing always has a few opportunities for folks like yourself, and I might just have the thing. You see, we've been having a bit of a pest problem in the storage area below the tavern. Rats have been getting into the barrels of ale and spoiling the goods. I've been thinking about hiring someone to deal with it. He pauses for a moment, considering your request for a quick score. Tell you what, if you can clear out the rat infestation for us, I'll pay you a fair sum, and you can keep any valuable items you find down there as a bonus. Does that sound like a deal? It seems you've got a job offer to deal with the rat problem in the tavern storage area. What do you decide to do? I'll say, or Hackett Kyler says, since I'm new to town, this is my first job offer. Garrick, you seem nice enough. I'd love to help. And then, because I'm socially awkward, I'll say, I don't know if this is awkward, but I just want to push my luck. Can you throw in 2 days worth of free drink too? If you say yes, I'll start catching dem rats tonight. Jarek chuckles and gives you a friendly nod. Garrick, you drive a hard bargain, my friend. 2 days of free drink it is, along with a fair payment for dealing with those pesky rats. I'll have the key to the storage area sent to your room. Just ask for it when you're ready to get started. Best of luck, and may your rat-catching skills serve you well. With the deal struck and 2 days of free drinks secured, you have your first job in Harbor's Landing. Tonight you'll be facing the challenge of clearing out the rat infestation in the tavern storage area. Is there anything else you'd like to do before heading to your room to prepare for the task? Okay, I will ask, how much is it for a room? You ask Garrick what the cost room tonight. A standard room for the night here at Captain's Tavern will cost you 5 gold pieces, but since you're helping us out with the rat problem, I'll cover your stay for tonight. Consider it part of our deal. You can settle any additional nights when you're ready. With your room for the night covered as part of the deal, and you're all set to begin your rat-catching mission later in the evening, is there anything else you'd like to do? Okay. What time is it in the day? You glance out the window to check the time of day. The sun is starting to dip below the horizon, casting a warm orange and pink hue across the sky. It's late afternoon and evening is approaching. You estimate that it will be dark in a couple of hours. You have some time to prepare before heading into the storage area to deal with the rats. Is there anything specific you like to do to prepare? Okay. I would like to walk around the outside of the Captain's Tavern and look for signs of entry by the rats. Now, dice rolling has never come up yet, and I never mentioned like, hey, I'm playing a D20 system. This is for Dungeons and Dragons. Nothing like that. So I want to see more of that here. So let's see if I can sort of kind of trick it. I would like to walk around the outside of the Captain's Tavern and look for signs of entry by the rats. Should I roll a D20 to see if I find anything? Oh my god. Searching for signs of entry by the rats is a great idea. Let's roll a d20 to determine how successful you are in finding those signs. You roll a d20 and get a 15. As you carefully inspect the exterior of the Captain's Tavern, you spot a few subtle signs of rat activity near a small opening in the foundation. It appears that the rats have been coming and going through a small gap in the stonework beneath the tavern. This is likely their entry point. With this discovery, you have a better idea of where to focus your efforts when you venture into the storage area later tonight. Is there anything else you'd like to do or investigate before it gets dark? Okay, I'll say I have the tools and traps that I need to catch these rats. But is there a place I can go to find food or bait for my traps? You can certainly find some bait for your traps to lure the rats. You ask Garrick about where you can obtain suitable bait. Okay, so here's my first first error, I guess I would say, is I'm still outside looking at the little crack, and then it prompts me to talk to Garrick again. But I don't want to do that. I want to go someplace out in town. So let me go back and rephrase my question. I have the tools and traps that I need to catch these rats, but is there a place in town I can go to find food or bait for my traps? Okay, here we go. You can certainly find food or bait for your traps in Harbor's Landing. You recall passing by a couple of shops in town that might have what you need. Two notable options come to mind. The Seaside Market. This is a bustling marketplace near the harbor where various vendors sell fresh fish, cheese, and other food items. You could find suitable bait for your traps here. Or the Herbal Haven, a quaint herbal shop that sells not only herbs but also dried meats and cheeses, which can be used as bait for your traps. You have enough time to visit one of these places before it gets dark. Which one would you like to go to, or is there anything else you'd like to do? Okay. So I love that it. Well, I guess I don't love it, but it's interesting that it prompted me to talk to Garrick, and just the little bit that I glanced at it, it sounded like Garrick was going to give it to me, which is great. But for me, in my mind and what I was thinking, I wanted to go someplace else. So I'm going to say I want to go to the Herbal Haven. I could give more detail. Well, I'll give a little. I want to go to the Herbal Haven and see if they have something. Spell it right. If they have something to lure rats from further away. Okay, processing. You make your way to the Herbal Haven, a cozy little shop located not far from the Captain's Tavern. As you step inside, you're greeted by the soothing scent of various herbs and spices. The shop's shelves are lined with jars and containers of dried herbs, roots, and other natural ingredients. Behind the counter stands an elderly woman with kind eyes and a warm smile. No name, but the title, Herbalist. Welcome, dear. How can I assist you today? You explain that you're in need of something to lure rats from further away for your rat-catching mission in the tavern's storage area. Aye, rats, you say? I have just the thing. We have some dried lavender buds mixed with a special blend of herbs that should do the trick. Rats find the scent irresistible, and it will lead them right into your traps. She prepares a small pouch of the scented mixture for you and offers it with a friendly nod. Herbalist. This should help you in your endeavor. It's 2 silver pieces for the pouch. Do you purchase the scented mixture? And is there anything else you'd like to do in the Herbal Haven? Interesting. Okay. do I purchase them? 2 silver seems a little expensive. So, alright, I said that I'm sneaky. Alright, I want to... Okay. I will attempt to give the herbalist 1 silver and 1 copper. When doing so, I will attempt to distract her by asking her name, how long she's owned this shop, and if she has any suggestions you know what, that's a little too much, because I really just want to get out of there. So, okay. I will attempt to give the herbalist 1 silver and 1 copper. When doing so, I will act as if I hear someone calling my name from outside. I will drop the money on the counter, grab the pouch, and then walk swiftly out of the store. Okay, and then I'm going to change. I will drop the money on the counter, attempt to grab the pouch, and then walk swiftly out of the store as if, or walk out of the store pretending I'm going, sorry. I will drop the money on the counter, attempt to grab the pouch, and then walk swiftly out the store pretending I'm going to talk to whomever I'm pretending was saying my name. Okay, that's like as specific of a request as you can get. So let's see what happens. You carefully place 1 silver and 1 copper piece on the counter and then quickly pretend to hear someone calling your name from outside. In a swift motion, you snatch the pouch of scented mixture and make your way towards the door, acting as if you're in a hurry to respond to the supposed call. The herbalist raises an eyebrow, a bit surprised by the sudden departure, but she doesn't seem to stop you. You successfully acquire the scented mixture without any issue. As you step aside, you can't help but feel a mixture of relief and amusement at your clever ruse. You now have the bait you need for your rat-catching mission. What would you like to do next? Now, I didn't roll any dice for that situation, but there's really not anything stopping ChatGPT from saying, no, you weren't successful in it. So maybe I need to be more clear on saying, hey, I want to attempt this. Should I roll a d20? I don't want to go back and change it because, again, it could have just said, nope, you weren't successful. But I don't know how this all works. You know, maybe it's programmed to be nicer to me. So we'll see. Okay. I head back to the Captain's Tavern, lay some bait on the outside by the crack, and then venture down to explore the storage area of the Captain's Tavern. You return to the captain's tavern with the pouch of scented mixture and head to the exterior of the building where you previously found the rat entry point. Carefully, you sprinkle some of the scented mixture around the crack in the foundation. The strong, enticing aroma fills the air, creating a tempting trail for the rats to follow. With the bait set, you make your way to the storage area inside the tavern. Garrick, the bartender, provides you with the key to access the storage room. As you unlock the door and step inside, you find yourself in a dimly lit room filled with barrels of ale, crates of supplies, and various odds and ends. It's clear the rats have been active here, as you can see their droppings and chewed through sacks. Now armed with your rat-catching tools and the scent lure, you have the opportunity to set your traps and confront the rat infestation head-on. How would you like to proceed in dealing with the rats in the storage area? I set my... We'll say I have 2 traps. I set my 2 traps... and because this is my job, I set my 2 traps in a strategic location. Then I lay in wait for the traps to spring, where I will proceed to reset the traps. I will also be at the ready with my club to get any close by rat not interested in the bait and traps. Now, what will be interesting to see is if at any point in time tonight I'm surprised by anything. My character is surprised by anything. So what I mean is, let's say I set my traps, but, plot twist, Garrick is the Rat King, and he doesn't like me doing what I'm doing, and then we have a battle. So, does it know enough that I want things like that to happen, or is it just, okay, yep, you do this, okay, yep, you go and you do that? So we'll see. You strategically place your traps near the baited area, ensuring they are positioned to catch any rats that venture close. You then take a vigilant position nearby, club in hand, ready to react as soon as the traps spring. Time passes and the scent of the mixture begins to draw the rats. You hear faint scratching and rustling sounds as they approach the bait. Suddenly, one of your traps springs shut, capturing a rat inside. Swiftly and efficiently, you move to reset the trap. Just as you finish resetting the trap, the second one snaps shut as well, ensnaring another rat. You quickly dispatch the 2 trapped rats and keep a watchful eye on the surroundings, prepared to deal with any additional rats that may come your way. As you continue your vigil, you notice a few more rats approaching the scented lure. It seems your plan is working. You're making progress in reducing the rat infestation. How would you like to proceed from here? Okay, I'm gonna go down this rat hole. See how many I can catch. I keep waiting to trap more rats. You remain patient, keeping a watchful eye in the area around the baited traps. The scent lure continues to attract rats, and over the next hour, you successfully catch several more. Your rat-catching skills, combined with the lure, prove to be effective in reducing the rat population in the storage area. With each rat caught, you promptly dispatch it and reset the traps. Gradually, the scratching and rustling sounds grow quieter, and it appears that the majority of the rats in the immediate vicinity have been dealt with. After some time, it becomes evident that the rat infestation in the storage area has been significantly curtailed. You've made excellent progress in fulfilling your task. Is there anything else you'd like to do in the storage area, or are you ready to report back to Garrick about the successful rat catching mission? Okay, I'm going to really pressure it. I'm going to say, I wait to see if some sort of king rat, or I'll say alpha, some sort of alpha rat enters. You maintain vigil in the storage area, hoping to see if a larger, more dominant rat, often referred to as an alpha rat, appears. However, as time passes, it seems that the rats you've already captured were the primary inhabitants of this area. No noticeably larger or dominant rat emerges. With the infestation significantly reduced and no sign of an alpha rat, it appears that that's a great band name, Alpha Rat. It appears that your mission to clear the storage area of rats has been successful. You can now choose to report back to Garrick, the tavern's bartender, to inform him of your progress and collect your reward for the job. What would you like to do next? Okay, I would... So I'm going to say, based on what Garrick said, I explore the storage area for anything of significance that I can keep. Since your mission to clear the storage area of rats has been successful, you take a moment to explore the storage area more thoroughly, as Garrick had mentioned that you could keep any valuable items you find as a bonus. You search for the crates and barrels, and among the supplies you come across a few items of interest. A crate of fine wines. Several bottles of well-aged wine are stored here, likely for special occasions at the tavern. These could be quite valuable. A locked chest. You find a locked chest hidden beneath a pile of old blankets. It appears to be old and weathered, but still sturdy. Then a stack of antique books. A collection of dusty tomes, some with intricate bindings, suggests they might be rare or valuable. These seem promising, and you can choose to investigate any of them further or take them with you. What would you like to do with these discoveries? I will ask, what time of night is it? It has grown quite dark. It's now well into the evening, likely past midnight. The only source of light in the storage area is a flickering lantern you brought with you. Interesting. I did not bring a lantern. I'd never said that I had that. It says, given the late hour, you might want to consider your options for resting or continue your exploration. I'm going to ask it where or how. No, I'll ask where. Where did the lantern come from? I apologize for the oversight. It seems I made an error in mentioning the lantern, as it wasn't previously mentioned in the story. Oh my god, this is crazy. Let's clarify the situation. You don't have a lantern with you in the storage area. It is indeed quite dark, and your visibility is limited without a light source. If you wish to continue exploring, you may consider using a torch or another source of light to navigate the area. Alternatively, you could choose to leave the storage area and return at a later time when you're better prepared. What would you like to do in light of this correction? Is ChatGPT being punny right now? Okay, what would you like to do in light of this correction? So, I probably had just enough light for the rats, and then after that I couldn't really quite explore. So, I'll ask, are there materials down here to light a lantern? You take a closer look around the storage area and find several materials that could potentially be used to light a lantern or a torch. Among the supplies, you discover a box of dry, unused torches and a small flask of oil. With these items at your disposal, you can easily light a torch or lantern to illuminate the area and continue your exploration. Okay, makes sense. It's a storage area. Garrick's coming down here at night, so it's not out of place for that to be there. Okay, so I'll say I light the torch, I light the lantern, explore, and use my club to try and break the lock on the chest. You retrieve one of the unused torches and the small flask of oil, quickly lighting the torch to illuminate the storage area. Now, I didn't make a torch, I made a lantern. The warm, flickering light casts shadows across the barrels and crates, revealing more details of the room. With better visibility, you turn your attention to the locked chest you discovered earlier. Determined to see what's inside, you grip your club and strike the lock with force. After a few solid hits, the lock shatters, freeing the chest's contents. Inside, you find 50 gold coins. Well, let's write that down. 50 gold. I find a delicate necklace, rings, and earrings, likely of considerable value. Necklace, ring, and earrings. And rolled up parchment. Upon closer inspection, it appears to be a map, though you'll need more time to decipher its contents. So I'm going to write down a map, question mark. Okay, then I'll say I take the books and one bottle of... Oops, I put a period in. I take the books and one bottle of wine. I return to Garrick to let him know. I feel like that's a pretty good score in the storage area here. Like, Garrick's just letting that stuff be down there. That seems a little rich. I return to Garrick to let him know I've solved the rat problem. Listen, I'll just leave it at there. I would love it for it to say, it's so late, Garrick's not there anymore, he's sleeping. Returning to the main captain's tavern, you find Garrick behind the bar cleaning a glass. When he sees you, he smiles and sets the glass aside. Back already, friend? I hope your rat-catching mission went well. How did it go? You proudly present the books and the bottle of wine as evidence of your success. Hackett Kyler says, the rats have been taken care of, and I found a few interesting items in the storage area. Here are the antique books and a bottle of fine wine, as well as the pouch of coins I found earlier. I also have a map I'd like to look into later. Garrick inspects the items with a nod of approval. Well done. It looks like you've not only cleared out the rats, but made some valuable discoveries as well. You've earned your reward, my friend. Garrick proceeds to pay you for the rat-catching job and offers you a complimentary room for the night, as agreed upon earlier. You've successfully completed your task and acquired some intriguing items along the way. Is there anything else you'd like to do in the Captain's Tavern, or are you ready to call it a night and rest in your room? Okay. I'll use their term. I would like to call it a night and rest in my room. Ooh, this is new. They give me two choices, two very lengthy choices. I don't know which ones. I wouldn't want to know if this was real D&D, which choices. So I'm going to flip a coin. Heads is the left, tails is the right. Just a brief glance, it looks like the one on the left is the nicer option. Just flip a coin. It's a great website. Heads, I go on the left. I pick option 1. Tails, I go on the right. Okay, here we go. Clicking. Heads. All right. Let's see. Response number 1. This is the one I'm picking, but I will read the other one. Response 1. With your successful rat-catching mission behind you and a comfortable room at the captain's tavern awaiting, you bid Garrick a goodnight and make your way to your room. The soft glow of a lantern illuminates your cozy quarters, and you find it a welcome respite after a long day of adventure. You settle in for a well-deserved rest, your thoughts filled with the discoveries you made and the possibilities that lie ahead in Harbor's Landing. As you drift off to sleep, you can't help but wonder about the map you found and what new adventures might await you in this vibrant coastal town. And so your first day in Harbor's Landing comes to an end, setting the stage for further exploration and intrigue in the days to come. If you ever wish to continue your adventures or have more questions, feel free to return to this world of Eldoria. Good night, adventurer. Interesting. Okay, so here's the other one. Just quickly browse to see if it's really any different. Oh, I think I accidentally... oh, no. I think I accidentally clicked the one on the right. Oh, shoot. Can I go back and re-edit this? Save and submit. Ah, that's a bummer. I don't think they were that different. Okay, the last one again is just... And with that, we'll conclude this part of your journey in Eldoria. If you wish to continue your adventure or have more questions, don't hesitate to return. Sweet dreams. All right. Unedited, we are just under an hour, and that's about how long I'd like to keep these podcasts. But I'm intrigued. I want to know. This is going well, but it almost seems like it's going too well. So... let's say, does anything happen to me while I'm sleeping? Okay, 2 options. They are more or less the same. As you drift into a peaceful sleep, the hours pass by quietly in your room at the captain's tavern. The night is uneventful, and you awaken the next morning feeling refreshed and ready to face a new day. It seems that your rest was undisturbed, and there were no unusual occurrences during the night. You can now decide how you'd like to proceed with your adventure in Eldoria. Is there anything specific you'd like to explore next? Okay. Tell me all about the map that I found. Of course, let me provide you with the information about the map you discovered in the storage area of the Captain's Tavern. The map. The rolled up parchment you found appears to be a detailed map of the region surrounding Harbor's Landing. The map is meticulously drawn with careful attention to topography and landmarks. Here are some key features and details you glean from the map. The geographic region. The map covers a significant portion of the kingdom of Avaloria, extending from the coastal town of Harbor's Landing to the neighboring forested areas, rivers, and nearby mountains. Notable landmarks. The map marks several notable locations, including the Captain's Tavern, the Fisherman's Wharf, the Azure's Mages Guild, and the paths leading to Sylvanar, Stonehelm, and the Sand Shroud Desert. hidden markings. Upon closer examination, you notice faint, cryptic markings and symbols scattered across the map, some of which appear to denote hidden or mysterious locations. This could potentially lead to undiscovered treasures or secrets within the region. Trade routes. The map also highlights major trade routes and roads, suggesting the significance of certain trade hubs and transportation networks in the area. Overall, the map seems to be more than just a simple geographical chart. It hints at hidden mysteries and unexplored opportunities within the kingdom of Avaloria and its surroundings. As the map contains intriguing clues and markings, you may choose to study it further, seek the advice of scholars, or embark on a new adventure to explore the secrets it holds. What would you like to do with this newfound information about the map? Okay, I will ask, is Garrick working right now? It's currently the morning after your successful rat catching mission, and you have a restful night at the Captain's Tavern. Typically during the morning, Garrick would be busy tending to the tavern and its patrons, preparing for the day's business. If you wish to speak with Garrick, you can head downstairs to the main area of the tavern, where you're likely to find him behind the bar or attending to other duties. Okay. I will pack up my things, head down to see if Garrick is still working. You pack up your things, enter the main area. As you enter, you spot Garrick behind the bar, busy serving breakfast to the early morning patrons. He looks up and notices you. Ah, good morning. I hope you had a restful night. Is there anything I can help you with today? Garrick seems to be available to speak with you. What would you like to do or discuss with him? I'll ask, did you sleep at all last night? You know how it is in this business. A few hours rest here and there between serving drinks and taking care of the tavern. But don't worry about me. I'll catch up on my sleep eventually. He offers you a warm smile, clearly dedicated to his work at the Captain's Tavern. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss with Garrick, or any other plans you have in mind for the day? I will say, I really want some sort of encounter or battle, but it just... I look around to see if there are any mischievous looking characters in the Captain's Tavern. Now, I say that, and then I'm going to come back and redo it and ask if I need to roll a d20, because it's probably going to give me the answer. You take a moment to discreetly scan the patrons in the Captain's Tower, looking for anyone who might appear suspicious or mischievous. The tavern's clientele includes a mixture of it's getting late. Sailors, travelers, and locals, but no one in particular stands out as overtly suspicious or nefarious. Most seem to be enjoying their meals and drinks while engaged in casual conversation. Garrick the bartender is attentive to the patrons and maintains a friendly and welcoming atmosphere. It appears to be relatively calm and uneventful morning at the tavern. Okay. How many other people are working here? Aside from Garrick, who was tending the bar, this is just crazy, who was tending the bar and serving the customers, you notice two additional staff working. There's Jenna, a young woman with a friendly demeanor who acts as a waitress, taking orders and delivering food and drinks to the tables, and Thomas, a burly man responsible for maintaining the tavern's appearance and assisting with tasks such as cleaning tables, restocking supplies, and ensuring the tavern is kept in good order. Excuse me. Together, the three of them manage the tavern's operations, providing food and drinks to the patrons and maintaining the overall atmosphere. I want to ask, hey Garrick, who owns the Captain's Tavern? And that's a pretty good question, because maybe whoever owns it, is stashing these expensive things down there. Garrick says the Captain's Tavern has been in the ownership of the Dalton family for generations. It's currently run by me, Garrick Stoutbeard, but the true owner is my cousin, Dorian Dalton. He lives in the nearby town of Seabreeze Harbor. The Dalton family has always had a strong connection to this place, and we take pride in maintaining its traditions. Okay, I'll say, not that I want to be ungrateful, but it seems like the treasures I found in the storage room are a bit excessive for a bar's storage room. Garrick listens to your observation and nods in agreement. You make a fair point. It does seem rather unusual to find such valuable items in our storage room. We've never stored such things here, and I can't recall anyone mentioning them before. He furrows his brow, looking slightly puzzled. I suppose it's possible that the chest and its contents belonged to a previous owner or patron, and it was simply forgotten over the years. Okay, so it's been in... Well, didn't he say it's been in his family? The Captain's Tavern has been in the ownership of the Dalton family for generations. Oh, he's not a Dalton. He's Stoutbeard and his cousin, Dorian Dalton. Oh, okay. Okay, alright, we get a mystery here. I suppose it's possible that the chest and contents belonged to a previous owner or patron, and it was simply forgotten over the years. In any case, you're free to do as you please with the items you found. If you have any further questions or concerns, please feel free to let me know. And if you decide to stay in Harbor's Landing a bit longer, you're always welcome at the Captain's Tavern. Garrick seems genuinely appreciative of your help with the rat problem and your honesty in discussing the items you discovered. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss with him or plans for the day? Okay, well, I want to ask Thomas. I approach Thomas, introduce myself, let him know that I caught rats in the storage room and came across treasure. Since he, and I'll use the words they said, Thomas restocks, since he restocks Captain's Tavern, how come he never noticed the treasure down in the storage room? I'm given two options. I'm going to click the one on the right. Just doesn't really matter to me. Thomas says, rats and treasure, you say? That's quite the tale. I've been working here for years, and I've never come across anything like that in our storage room. He scratches his head, clearly puzzled by the situation. Thomas says, I guess I've been so focused on my tasks that I never ventured down there to check for hidden treasure, and I can't say I've heard anyone else mention it either. It's a mystery for sure. Thomas seems genuinely intrigued by your discovery and slightly surprised by the unusual turn of events. If you have any more questions, okay, I want to use D&D rules and say I want to roll a D20 and check to see if Thomas is deceiving me. Even though it says that he genuinely is intrigued, I still want to let the dice decide. Okay, I rolled a 9. As you study Thomas's expression and listen to his response, you don't detect any signs of deception. He appears genuinely surprised by the situation and his lack of prior knowledge regarding the treasure. It seems that Thomas is being honest in his response to your inquiry. If you have any further questions, please feel free to let me know. All right. Okay, I will ask Jenna the same thing I asked Thomas. You approach Jenna, the friendly waitress at the captain's tavern, and introduce yourself. You mention the rats and the treasure you found in the storage room, then inquire if she has ever come across anything unusual during her time at the tavern. Jenna looks thoughtfully for a moment and responds. Jenna says, rats and treasure? That's quite a story. I've been here for a while and I've never heard such things in our storage room. It's honestly news to me. She seems sincere in her response, and her expression doesn't show any signs of deception. It appears that Jenna, like Thomas, is genuinely surprised by the unexpected discovery you made in the storage room. If you have any more questions, or if there is anything else you'd like to discuss or do in the Captain's Tavern or Harbor's Landing, please let me know. Okay, well, let's say go back to Garrick and ask if his cousin is coming in. I'm going to put in quotation marks and just ask it as a question. Hey, Garrick, is your cousin the real owner coming in today? Question mark. Garrick Dorian? Well, he does drop by from time to time to check in on things, but he's not due to visit today. He's a busy man, you know, overseeing things in Seabreeze Harbor. Why do you ask? Garrick seems curious about your question, and you can decide if you want to provide any specific information or if there's a particular reason you're interested in Dorian's presence. How would you like to respond? I would just like to know if the treasure is his. Garrick, I see what you're getting at. No, the treasure you found in the storage room isn't Dorian's as far as I know. The Dalton family's been associated with the tavern for generations, but those items don't belong to us. They must have been there, left by someone else at some point, a previous owner perhaps. Dorian's interest tends to lie more in the management of the family's other businesses. Garrick's response reaffirms that the treasure you discovered likely has no direct connection. Okay, I'm going to press the issue. Can you be 100% sure it isn't Dorian's? Garrick, well, I can't be 100% certain, of course, as I don't have knowledge of every item Dorian owns. However, it would be highly unusual for him to store valuables like that in the Captain's Tavern storage room without informing me. Dorian usually keeps his business and personal affairs separate, But if you're concerned, you could always ask him directly if the items are his. Garrick's response suggests that while it's unlikely, you could seek clarification from Dorian Dalton himself. If you have any doubts about the ownership of the treasure, is there anything else you'd like to do or discuss at this point? Garrick, can you tell me when Dorian will be in here next? Garrick, Dorian's visits can be a bit unpredictable due to his busy schedule, but I can let you know when I expect him to drop by next. It might be a few days, though. Is there anything specific you'd like to discuss with him, or is there a message you'd like me to pass along when he does come in? Garrick seems willing to assist you in arranging a meeting with Dorian Dalton, the owner of the Captain's Tavern. If that's your intention, what would you like to do next? Say, keep my room for me. I'll be here for a few more days. Please let me know when, and I'm going to be vague, please let me know when he shows up. Garrick, of course, I'll make sure your room is reserved for you. I'll also keep an eye out for Dorian's next visit and let you know when he shows up. Just let me know when you're ready to speak with him, and I'll do my best to arrange it. Enjoy your stay, and if you need anything in the meantime, don't hesitate to ask. With your room secured and the promise of a notification when Dorian Dalton arrives, you have some time to explore Harbor's Landing or pursue any other activities you have in mind. Is there anything specific you'd like to do next? Okay. I want to inspect the jewelry some more and make an educated guess about its whereabouts and its history and its value. You take a closer look at the intricate jewelry you discovered among the treasure in the storage room. The pieces are finely crafted, and the attention to detail suggests a level of craftsmanship that's quite impressive. You can make an educated guess about their history and potential value. It's high quality. Style of the jewelry, you know that it appears to have elements of both traditional Avalorian craftsmanship and influences from neighboring regions. This blending of styles could make them quite unique and valuable. This blows my mind that it comes up with this so fast. Materials. You recognize that the jewelry is made from genuine materials such as gold, silver, and various gemstones. The presence of valuable materials adds to their potential worth. Age. While it's challenging to determine the exact age of the jewelry without further examination or expert assessment, they seem to have an antique quality to them, suggesting that they may have been created many years ago. Potential value. Given their quality, materials, and potential uniqueness, it's reasonable to assume that the jewelry could be of significant value. However, determining their exact worth would require more detailed appraisal by an expert jeweler or appraiser. Okay. How many books did I take? You took a stack of antique books, and the exact number of the books is in this stack is 4. These books are aged and appear to be of historical or literary significance, though their specific contents and subjects are yet to be explored. If you'd like to examine these books, I'd like to examine these books more in my room. Certainly, you take the stack of antique books out. One is the Tales of Eldergrove, a collection of stories and legends about the ancient Eldergrove forest, said to be filled with mystical creatures and hidden treasures. Avaloria, a history unveiled, an in-depth historical excuse me, accounts of the kingdom of Avaloria, covering its founding, notable rulers, and significant events. Okay, I just want to know, are these books at all valuable? They hold historical and cultural value, as they contain information about the kingdoms of Avaloria and its surrounding regions. Their potential worth could come from several factors: historical significance, uniqueness, condition. The condition of the books also plays a role in determining their value. If they are well preserved and have minimal damage, they may be more desired to collectors. To determine their precise value, you'd have to go consult a appraiser. Okay. At first glance, do these books I want to say, do these books appear to be in good shape? But then I might, if I ask a broad question, I'll probably get a broad response. So I'm going to ask, do any of the, well, it's kind of the same. Do any of these books appear to be in, I'll say, bad shape? Upon closer examination of the 4 antique books, you notice that 3 of them are in reasonably good condition, showing only minor signs of wear. However, one of the books, Tales of the Eldergrove, appear to be in slightly worse shape. It has some yellowing pages and binding is a bit loose. Okay. All right. When I came into town, did I notice any antique or jewelers? Any antique stores or jewelers? As you arrived in Harbor's Landing, you did not notice any dedicated antique stores or jewelers in the immediate vicinity. The town appeared to be a coastal fishing community with a focus on maritime activities, trade, and the local tavern. While it offers essential services and amenities, it may not have specialized shops for antique or jewelry. However, as you explore further in Harbor's Landing or interact with the locals, you might uncover... Okay, great. I ask Garrick if he knows of such stores. Garrick, antique stores and jewelers, you say? Well, we're a quaint coastal town, and our focus tends to be on fish trade and the like. We don't have specialized shops of that sort here, but if you're interested in unique items or treasures, you might want to try your luck with the traders and merchants at the Fisherman's Wharf. They often bring goods from other places, and you may stumble upon something intriguing. Garrick suggests and directs you towards the Fisherman's Wharf, which would be a place to explore for items of interest. Okay, yeah. I will leave the Captain's Tavern and head to the Fisherman's Wharf. All right. You make your way from Captain's Tavern to the Fisherman's Wharf, which is located not far from the tavern along the bustling waterfront of Harbor's Landing. As you arrive at the wharf, you find it abuzz with activity. The Fisherman's Wharf is a hub of maritime commerce and trade in the town. Fishing boats line the wooden docks, unloading their daily catches of fish, crabs, and other seafood. Traders and merchants have set up stalls and makeshift shops along the pier, offering a variety of goods from fresh fish to imported wares. As you explore the Fisherman's Wharf, you have the opportunity to interact with the traders and merchants, browse their offerings, and potentially discover unique items or treasures. Is there anything specific you're looking for? Okay. I'm looking for a merchant with antique looking goods that might be able to identify my jewelry, my newly found jewelry. You scan the various stalls and merchants at the Fisherman's Wharf, looking for one who specializes in antique or unique goods. After a bit of searching, you spot an elderly merchant named Elara, who seems to have a collection of items that pique your interest. Elara says, Elara is a petite woman with silver hair. Elara's stall is filled with an assortment of old books, trinkets, and jewelry. She sits behind a weathered wooden table, carefully examining a delicate necklace under a magnifying glass. Approaching her stall, you greet Elara and mention your recent discovery of antique jewelry. She looks up with a warm smile. Ah, a seeker of treasures, are you? What have you brought me today? You carefully lay out the antique jewelry you found in the storage room from the captain's tavern, and Elara leans in to examine them closely. She studies the craftsmanship, materials, and markings or symbols. Any markings or symbols. Elara. These are quite intriguing, my friend. They seem to have a touch of history about them. Let me take a closer look. Elara takes her time examining the jewelry, turning them over and inspecting them from various angles. After a few moments, she looks up at you. These pieces are well made and seem to have a blend of styles from different regions. The craftsmanship suggests they could be quite old, but I need more time to provide a comprehensive assessment. If you're interested in their history and potential value, I can do some research and give you a more detailed appraisal. Elara's expertise and willingness to help could be valuable in learning more about the antique jewelry. Would you like to agree to her offer and leave the pieces with her for further assessment? Or do you have other plans or questions in mind? Say, I would like her... I'll talk to her. Elara, I would like your help in learning more about these, but I am hesitant. Oh, okay. I'm playing my character, but I'm awkward with people. So, Elara, I would like your help in learning about these, but I don't want you to steal them from me. To steal them. Elara, oh, you have my word, dear. I'm an honest merchant, and I wouldn't dream of taking something that doesn't belong to me. Your trust is well placed. I'll take good care of these pieces and provide you with a fair assessment of their history and potential value. Elara's reassurance puts your mind at ease, and you hand over the antique jewelry to her further... And you hand over the antique jewelry for her to further examine. She carefully places them in a small velvet-lined box and sets it aside. She says, I'll start my research right away and get back to you as soon as I have more information. In the meantime, feel free to explore the wharf or return later. You'll find me here in my stall. Okay. I'm going to say... Actually... No, I don't give them to her. Despite what Elara says, I do not trust her enough to hand these over to her. You decide to hold on to the antique jewelry and not entrust them to Ilara for further examination. Despite her assurances, you're cautious about parting with the valuable items. I say, I appreciate your willingness to help, Ilara, but I think I'd prefer to keep these with me for now. I might explore other options for learning about their history and value. Thank you for understanding. Ilara nods understandingly and smiles. Of course, it's your choice. If you ever change your mind or need my expertise, you know where to find me. Best of luck on your journey, dear. With the jewelry safely in your possession, you have the freedom to decide how to proceed. Okay, I will say, how much would you be willing to give me right now for everything, for every piece? Ilara considers your question and the antique jewelry you're offering. She examines the pieces once more and then looks back at you with a thoughtful expression. Well, I need a bit more time to provide you with an accurate appraisal and make a fair offer. These items have piqued my curiosity and I'd hate to undervalue them. If you're interested, you can leave them with me for a thorough assessment and I'd be happy to make you an offer afterwards. Ilara's suggestion aligns with her earlier offer to provide a more detailed appraisal once she's had time to examine the items more closely. You can decide whether you'd like to leave the jewelry with her for assessment or explore other options. What would you like to do? Well, we are just around an hour and a half, and I've explored enough for tonight that I want to do. I'll think about whether I want to give Ilara my jewelry or not. Final thoughts for our first session. This, to me, is solo RPGing. I forget the term. Oh, here we go. Oracle. There's somebody on YouTube whose name I do not remember, but maybe I'll post it in the Spotify description of this. But has been doing in a solo RPG using the Mythic system, I think, which is basically the book is your game master, and you roll on certain tables to get certain answers or certain solutions. And I would still call this Chat GPT as a solo RPG. I mean, I'm the only human in the room right now, and I'm getting, instead of rolling, I'm not rolling a lot unless I ask to roll, but I'm still getting good feedback and good responses. Like, Garrick didn't know anything about the jewelry. He could have just, Chat GPT could have just made it up and said, yeah, like, here's everything you need to know. So this is very, very interesting to me. I will 100% be coming back to this. Didn't get any combat, which is fine. No major plot twists. That's okay. But eventually, those things need to happen. I'll be interested to see how this works, how this all plays out. And I won't do it right now, but I kind of want to interject and say, hey, like, outside of the story, I want you to know that we're playing using Dungeons and Dragons rules. And then I wonder if it would start prompting me to say, oh, well, you want to read this person's face? Roll me perception. Something like that. But, wow. The speed that it creates these things and the depth that it has, it's just amazing. I will definitely be coming back to this. So, thank you so much. Hopefully this gave you some value. The video, I'm not quite sure how I'll do that. This will definitely be posted as an audio, and then maybe I can have some sort of accompanying video as well. This is all new to me, and so we shall see how this goes. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Later.